Good evening, viewers. Today I'm joined by the urban legend, Josef. Today we'll be discussing more about like how it actually evolved, where did he got his idea from, and more importantly, we're going to learn more about Josef in details. Welcome to the Mayor Show.
Thank you for having me.
Today, earlier on, we have almost, I don't know, for how long have we had our interviews for today? Like 2 hours?
Yeah, around that time. Yeah.
In Tigrinya.
Yeah, but Tigrinya.
Tigrinya. So our mother language. So tell me about the urban legend. What is the urban legend?
Urban Legend is a superhero I created. It's Eritrea's first ever superhero. Yeah, it's a superhero that's very different from all these classic superheroes that you find in Marvel and DC comic universe. I made a very human superhero, a superhero who gives the people who doesn't have a voice, and he stands up for the people who can stand up for themselves, and he fights against injustice and crime in a whole different way than that's never been done before, basically.
Yeah. So your full name is Josef Tzegai Yohannes, and of course you were born in Copenhagen, right?
Yes.
Tell us more about your background, and we will be discussing more in details about the urban legend and when and how we actually come up with the idea.
Sure. I was born in Copenhagen, Denmark. I moved to Norway with my family when I was 9 years old. My father got a better job and conditions was better in Norway than in Denmark. So we moved here. I studied political science and human rights because my biggest goal was to become Prime Minister of Norway. So I was, that was my real goal. So I was very active as a student. I attended free United Nations conference for students through Harvard University. So it was the United Nations conference both in New York, Taiwan, and Holland. And while I was studying, I worked as a volunteer Red Cross. I worked as a teacher, and I also worked with artists like 50 Cent and did parties. And I met people like Rihanna, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Chris Brown, Wu-Tang Clan, and all of those people.
Oh, wow. So, well, how did you get into writing comics? Were you a comic fan when you were a child?
I used to write a lot of poetry. Yeah, write a lot of poetry. The idea I got for Urban Legend was actually by accident. I was tired working with all these people, all these celebrities, and I thought, I need some new inspirations because I've outgrown it really. And I went to, so I decided to do two things that I've always dreamt of. And the one thing was watch the World Cup in football. I'm a big football fan. So all you guys out there, hope you support Barcelona, best team.
Who do you support? Barcelona.
Or Barca. Yeah.
Okay, Barca.
And so I went into South Africa in 2010 and watched the World Cup over there. And then I went to countries like Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana to, visit the country and go on a safari. And while I was in Botswana, in a very, very poor area, waiting for a friend of mine, suddenly I saw two kids walking by. They were probably 4 or 6 years old, holding hands. And the moment I saw them, it did something to me because they reminded me so much of me and my little brother. So it gave me a special feeling that made me call for them. So I said, hey, stop. And then they stopped, said, come here. And then they came. They were a little bit hesitant. I think they were a little bit scared. So it's okay. Just come over here a little bit. So they came, and when they came, I said hi, and they said hi, and we talked a little bit, and then I said, here, take these $10, go buy some ice cream. And then the little guy was doing this to his big brother and asked, why did this tall man give us money? And then the big brother was explaining to him, he gave us money so we can go buy ice cream. And then the little guy was like, wow, are we going to buy ice cream? I said, yes, we're going to buy ice cream. So they were very happy. So, and then we talked a little bit more, and then I said goodbye to them. And when I said goodbye to them, I got tears in my eyes because I knew it would be the last time I would ever see them again. And I thought that they deserved so much more than what they had because they were so poor. They barely had any clothes on them. And they looked so abandoned. And yeah, it really, really made a deep impression on me. And during the rest of my trip around Africa, I couldn't stop thinking about these two kids. And the more I thought about them, the more angry I got with myself and thought that I should have given them so much more than 10 lousy dollars. I should
Yeah.
have given them hope, inspiration, something that could show them the path to a better life. And then I got that create this guy here, superhero. So I thought, why not create a superhero that can inspire them, help them, and show them the path to a better life? And that's how the idea came to life.
I love it. So just so we give our viewers like a full picture of this, I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we will be touring around your website so that you can tell us more about the different editions that you've done, different seasons that you've actually wrote already, because now you're in season 3 or 4.
Season 3 is coming out. We're almost done with season 4.
Oh, brilliant. So tell me, what was your first, what was the article for your first season, and why did you choose that particular article or discussion point that you wanted to discuss?
Article here in Norway, the first press release I got?
The first person.
It was the first superhero ever in Norway, so it was a big hype. And also that was a black superhero, so it got some attention. But also got a lot of hate mail, like how can there be a black superhero when all black people are criminals and all of that stuff? So I got very, very angry. And you know what I did? I'll show you guys what I did. So I got really, really angry. They were making fun of this superhero and saying that he was black. So if you see here, yeah, you see here, there, sorry. So I got very, very angry. So the next issue, I said, I'll show you guys. So I made him darker after they complained that he was black. And after that, I didn't hear from them. So from issue 1 to issue 2, he's darker. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But how did you cope up with that emotional side? Like, who was there to actually did you just spoke to yourself like, okay, I'm gonna show you, or did you just, who did you actually spoke to that time?
Nobody, because in the beginning, nobody was interested. Nobody wanted to know anything about it. Very, very alone. And it was very lonely in a sense. And sometimes what a lot of people don't know is that I sold my apartment to fund this issue, just because I wasn't getting funding and all of that stuff. But I thought you can never give up on this, because this is so much bigger than you, so much more important than you. So I said, this is for the kids that doesn't have any superheroes or role models that can really need a superhero in their lives. And then I was thinking.
One thing that I have, when I was introducing you on the Tigrinya program, I've mentioned that you are currently an ambassador, Mandela's ambassador for justice and equality, right? Regardless of race, gender, faith. And you have actually received several awards. Example, the best entrepreneur, artist, and the outstanding young person from JCI in Norway in year 2018. Tell me more about this.
Yeah. Well, I never thought of awards or anything when I started SuperHero, but then I won the award for Best Entrepreneur Artist or something for whole of Scandinavia. And it was a big ceremony. I couldn't go because I was in Los Angeles at that time. But it was cool. It was nice to get an award, really. It was nice, but yeah, it was nice.
So the Urban Legend is now available in 8 different languages, right? And is part of school curriculum in Norway, Eritrea, Africa, South Africa, Kenya, and Brazil.
Denmark and will be in Canada as well.
Denmark and soon in Canada. When you started initially, did you have this in mind, or were you surprised?
I was really surprised about school curriculum, because what I really love about the first season, which is this book, the first 8 issues, is that in the beginning nobody wanted it, so I had all the time in the world to write these stories, and nobody was begging for the next issues anyway. So I spent a lot of time on these stories. And what surprised me was really that it was becoming part of school curriculum, and I was so happy, because I never thought of that. Because sometimes when I got tired of writing, I was like thinking, I would say like this, and I thought, okay, I want Will Smith to play this, I want this villain to be played by that, and blah, 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 just to have fun with itself, just to put it out there, really, in my mind. But that becoming school curriculum was really, really big and really important, because what I'm really proud of, really, with my superhero is that now the school kids in Norway and other countries, their first interaction or meeting with a Black person is actually a superhero. It's not asylum seeker, it's not a drug dealer, it's not something that they label us as always, but it's a Black superhero, an Eritrean superhero, named after Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela, and my father, Tzegai, my middle name, and my uncle.
So, what has been your moment since you start working, serving as the Mandela's ambassador?
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
What has been your moments since you start the serving as Mandela's ambassador for justice and equality?
The first call was really cool. They called me and they congratulated me. They thought that was awesome. There's a finally Black super out there, and that he's also named after Nelson Mandela. So they asked me if I wanted to become a Nelson Mandela ambassador. And I said yes. And so they invited me to South Africa, and together we did a big, big project in Johannesburg and in the Soweto area. I gave lectures at a Mandela school, and I made special issues for kids, which we donated. We also donated footballs, like this football right here. Yeah, footballs. You see this?
Brilliant.
Yeah, so we donated like 200 footballs or something, hundreds of it at least. And it was a huge success. And then I got to meet Miss Winnie Mandela as well, and that was a really high moment. And also to see the kids' reaction and how much they love the urban legend, to see their reaction seeing a Black superhero for the first time, it meant a lot to these kids.
So this is the first ever superhero, Black superhero.
No, there's been a lot of them, but not in a global context. There have been a lot of them, but many of them have been created by white people. So it has a different perspective on things, these Black superheroes. This is an Eritrean superhero, and you have the urban legend talking about Ebola, about climate, bullying, and a lot of other stuff. So it's a different direction. It's more, how do I say it? It has this very strong empowerment for Black people.
And uniqueness to it.
Yes, definitely.
All right, great.
And
so
he's born in Eritrea, raised in Eritrea.
Yeah. Brilliant. And you've done a lot of great collaborations with Malala Yousafzai, 20th Century Fox, Nobel Peace Center, the Nelson Mandela, of course, Foundation, Rainforest Foundation, and Audi, etc. How did this collaboration come about? And after that, we are going to visit your website and learn more about the collaboration. So maybe in the meantime, I can just start sharing my screen whilst you tell us about the collaborations.
Oh, sure. First collaboration was with the Nelson Mandela Foundation. So I got a lot of press for that. And then I did an Ebola edition also for edition which was done during the Ebola epidemic in 2015.
Can you see my screen?
Sorry?
Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah.
And I did, so they got in touch with me, and then 20th Century Fox called me and asked me if I could come on a meeting. I said, sure. And then they want me to do a collaboration with Malala Yousafzai, the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize winner. She won it in 2014, and they thought that the values of urban legend and Malala was very in the same area, so they wanted to do a collaboration. I said, sure. And the funny thing is that, this is the project. The funny thing is that I said just yes, because I really look up to Malala, and I think she's a great inspiration and a great role model. And I asked them, what do you want me to do in this project? And they said, Joseph, completely up to you.
Wow.
And this was right after she's won the Nobel Peace Prize, and I knew a lot of attention was on her from all over the world. So this was a big, big, big challenge. But what I noticed is that I saw her documentary, and what I noticed is that Malala really missed going back to Pakistan, to her village, and then be in her class. with her old classmates, but she couldn't go back because of the situation she was involved with Taliban and so on. So I thought, why not put the scene where she's back in Pakistan, in her village, in her class, with her former classmate, and with the urban legend speaking to them. So it has a lot of focus on women's rights and her view on education and so on. Yeah, and this was she was really happy about this, and so was Fox. So it was a really cool project to be part of.
Brilliant. This is incredible. I'm already on your website, as you can see, and I can see a lot of different storylines. So let me know if you want us to focus on anything whilst I'm here. But more importantly, I can see the hands right here. What do they represent? What is that hand doing in there?
Basically, it's the urban legend is a superhero with no super powers. And he doesn't use any weapons, so he uses his fists. So I thought, why not use the fist logo? And also, the fist logo has been played a very central part in our struggle, Eritrean struggle for independence, war and stuff. And also in America with the Black Power movement in the 60s, Malcolm X, Black Panthers, and so on. So I thought this would be a good, and also in South Africa against apartheid. So I thought would be this logos really symbolizes what the urban legend stands for.
Wow, amazing. All right, so I was just checking through your accessories on Amazon as well. So if people wants to order stuff, this is where they can find it.
Yeah.
Right. Tell us a little bit more about the accessories. What normally comes to your mind when you think of, or is it the fans that normally, ask you to literally send them or do a specific accessories with the brand?
Well, I make accessories and products that I think will be cool for fans because it's a huge market and it's a good PR thing to do. And I try to do something that's also unique in a sense, different. So you have posters, you have puzzles, you have coffee mugs, you have footballs. Now we're doing a Rubik's Cube, and we have really cool T-shirts and different stuff as well. And here you have comics. I've just uploaded a few comics because we have 35, but I want to start with a slow thing here. So here you have the Eritrean issue, which is also in Tigrinya. And you have the first 4 issues, and you have a coloring book and anti-bully issue as well. So this is the origin story. As you see the Eritrean issue, that's the origin story where you see urban legend being born and raised in Eritrea and how he became the urban legend. So I actually went to Eritrea.
Yeah.
And I do research, and you see the storyline, and you see the streets of Eritrea and so on. This is my mother, my real mother. She's the mother of urban legend in the story as well.
Amazing. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love this. So how was your visit to Eritrea? Do you think it have somehow changed you in a certain way since your visit?
Yeah, it was very inspiring, and it was also a reality check. And it was good to see my family that I haven't seen in years. And I was there in 2014. So it was a good trip, and also I visited the Halak school in Asmara, a school for kids with Down syndrome. So we had a football club, Urban Legend Football Club. We had a Urban Legend Christmas party where I bought sodas and cookies, and we just had a big party. And I talked to them about the Urban Legend, and I donated some school books, Urban Legend issues, and some footballs. Yeah, 50 footballs.
Brilliant. And I can see there is another amazing storyline right here. Can you tell me more about this?
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. This is like unity, and this is for the kids in Africa, surrounding around. It's a Ubuntu, which means I am because of who we are. So I am because of who we are. And I really love that slogan. And this is what this symbolizes, this picture, really. Yeah.
Awesome. So how does, sorry, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. How does the urban legend differ from other type of heroes?
I made him a very human. you see a very human side of him that you won't see in other superheroes, because you see him struggle through depression. He's homeless. He kind of loses identity because he's very naive in the beginning when he becomes an urban legend, a superhero, and his intention is not to become a superhero. It's more to save people and give them hope and fight against all the hopelessness and crime that's been occurring in the city. But it also shows that the more he goes into the role as the urban legend, the more it does something to him. It shows him a world. It shows him this a world that's filled with corruption, poverty, and it really does something to him as a person. So you see a human journey in him that you won't see in other superheroes, and the journey that he takes you through is a journey that you yourself can relate to. Yeah. So you see a very vulnerable superhero, more than so in other superheroes.
How important is it for young African kids in Africa and in the diaspora to know and learn and feel and read about a Black superhero?
Oh, it's very important because when I did research, I noticed that kids in the Western world always had the luxury of having superheroes like Batman, Spider-Man, the Avengers, and so on, while kids in Africa has always had two types of heroes. It's either athletes, sports people, or musicians. There's never kind of been official superhero that's kind of represented them, speaking for them, representing, and also standing up for them. So I thought my superhero would fill that gap, fill that void, basically. And it's also about reflection and perception, what people look at. Because if a kid's growing up, Black kids are growing up only seeing themselves, other Black people, as criminals, dumb people, or people who's always begging Europeans for a handout with aid and so on, that will do something to their mental health. Yeah, and that will not give them the confidence they need to succeed, basically. So it's all about empowerment, really, that we're just as good.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that I really like is you are a huge fan of Malcolm X.
Yes.
And of course Mandela. Tell me the history behind the urban legend naming.
Naming was very, very important for me, really, because the name is associated with identity. And what I really, really knew from day one was he's not going to have any European ex-slave name. He's not going to be called Patrick Murphy or John Smith or something like that. No. So I thought, you know what? I will call him name him Malcolm T. Madiba, Malcolm for Malcolm X, T for Tzegai, which is also my father's name, my middle name, and then Madiba, which is Mandela's African name. It was very important for him to have an African name. And in Eritrea, his name is Yamana Berhan, Tawali Berhan, named after my uncle, who died in the war. So it's to him, actually. It was very, very important. And then the name, the urban legend, was wow, that was really hard to come up with a superhero name. I struggled for a long, long time. Yeah. But suddenly, one day I was driving to a meeting. It was a red light. And then all of a sudden, bang, the name of the urban legend just came like a lightning in my head. I thought, wow, there I have it. That's the name. That's what I want to use. So I called the guy I was having a meeting with. I said, hey, something important happened. I have to cancel. Let's do the meeting in a few days. I'll call you. And then I turned around, drove home, ran up the stairs, and I was Googling the name all night to see somebody use it. And when I saw nobody's used it before, I took it. It's mine.
Amen. Out na fasil ka siya.
Straight up.
Brilliant. All right. So what challenge have you came across since the establishment? And when was the first establishment anyway?
Challenge was in the beginning. I was thinking I was turning into a stand-up comedian because everybody was laughing at me because I disappeared in a sense. So when they met me, they asked, "Hey, Joseph, what are you up to now?" I'm creating a superhero, and they was laughing at me in my face. Nobody could believe it. Like, you making a superhero? Who are you? I said, "Listen, this is different. This is gonna inspire a whole generation. Trust me, just wait and see. But they were laughing at me, making fun of me. And I spent a whole year doing the first issue. Yeah, this issue right here, the first issue. Spent a whole year doing it. I thought it would take 6 months max, but it took a whole year, working 12, 15 hours a day with the first storyline, because that really sets it up. And after that, I went to all the, I was like, okay, I'll start here in Norway. I went to all the stores, all the publishers, everybody that I thought could help me sell the superhero of mine. And I got rejected. They're slamming doors, laughing at me. We're not interested in all of that stuff. So I went to the US, to Comic-Con, San Diego. And I showed it to Marvel, DC Comics, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Microsoft, and all these huge companies. And they loved it. Wow, they went crazy. So I got offers from 4 different publishers. And I picked one. I picked a publishing company that I thought was most in sync with my values and my direction. And it was 10 months with lawyers back and forth, because they wanted to own the rights to the whole IP, and I didn't want to do that. And very important, please. This is very, very important. Own your stuff. Own your work. Own your creation. Own it. If somebody wants to use it or do collaboration, license it out, because ownership is everything. Ownership is what the heart and pulse is of your creation. So own it, okay? I'm begging you, own it, straight up. So I signed with the company after 10 months, and 2 months later, the guy called me, the CEO, and he said, "Listen, Joseph, your superhero is going crazy out here. People are calling in, they want more and more, and they're asking about where they can get more." And now it's been selected as a strip in USA Today with 70 million readers each month. And it started as a trial, but then it became very popular. And then I got a longer deal with them, and it was selected with other superheroes like Batman, Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, Captain America, and Spider-Man. And it was the only superhero that was picked up that wasn't part of Marvel and DC Comics. And this was the breakthrough. And now everybody in Hollywood was like, who's this new superhero? Is this Marvel's new superhero or DC Comics' new superhero? And I'm like, nah, it's none of them. It's just me. Offers and all of that stuff. But yeah, that's how it started. So my big breakthrough was in the US before I got it in Norway.
Brilliant. And a lot of people actually are. I've seen some comments previously on the website, and everything is pretty much very positive. But I wanted to ask you, how do you really come up with the ideas, with the stories? What inspires you to write the stories?
To be honest, I've never written any stories before. I just written poetry, but now it was a big challenge, because now I have to create a universe which is exciting, something new, something that can attract attention and also keep people's attention. So it's a big challenge, but it was so fun. I was writing like 2, 3 in the morning, like, okay, it's gonna be a teacher, and then it's gonna be Malcolm X, after Malcolm X, my father Mandela. I'm gonna name it capacity. It was full of energy. It was so beautiful time, because it was so innocent and so naive. And I thought, nobody's gonna stop me. Just wait and see. I'll show the whole world. So again, it all felt natural, because I just started very basic and easy, and just introduce the characters in an organic way. So that's what I did.
What is the urban legend thinking about coronavirus?
Oh, I did a big Corona thing project about how you can, keep social distancing, how you can avoid getting infected by Corona and stuff like that. He hates it. He hates the coronavirus. I might do a special issue, a more like 24 special issue, like I did on this private issue on Corona, and translate it to several languages and really teach kids and also adults on how not to get infected and what you best can do to protect yourself, basically, and help as well.
I agree. So when was that sparking moment where you said, this is what I want to do?
Well, I always wanted to help people, and I thought first I could do that if I became prime minister. But as a prime minister, you never talk as an individual. You always represent your party or the government or an NGO or whatever it might be, and that limits you really. So I thought this was what I really wanted to do, and this is just the perfect platform to use a superhero to spread the knowledge and empower people, basically. Give them self-confidence, give them identity. And in the issues, you have a lot of tributes to Black icons, really. Tribute to Emmett Till, Rosa Parks, Tupac Shakur. You have many others as well. Rosa Parks, Malcolm X. Yeah, Malcolm X, Mandela, Harriet Tubman, and a lot of other Black celebrities, icons that really fought for freedom recognition. And Stephen Biko, also South African anti-apartheid activist, as well. Yeah.
I love that. So through your work, you've been really blessed, right? And met and connected with a lot of big celebrities, right? Or big stars in the world, like Rihanna, Kanye West, Michael Tyson. What have you learned from the entertainment world that actually contributed towards the success on your comic book writing or on the urban legend creation? And how do they feel about a Black superhero comic book?
The people I've met, they love it. I started really young working with these people. I met them at a very, very young age. But what I really picked up, I worked most closely with 50 Cent and G-Unit. Those are the people I really work closest with. What I really learned is that not are they very only talented, but they're also very, very focused on their work. Very focused, and also saw in them that they know they're talented, but talent is not enough. They work very, very hard. And what I really like about these people is that they are not afraid to take risks. Yeah, with their businesses, their music, direction, and so on. But what I've learned most from these celebrities I met is work hard, find your talent, and focus. Yeah, focus. Don't let the success get into your head and all this screaming and autographs and all that. Nah, just keep focused on your stuff. Yeah, because you might have it today and lose it tomorrow.
What exactly? I wanted to ask you, what does the urban legend wanted to see the world changing into, if any, or what change does the urban legend wants to see in the world?
Want to see more respect for Black people, Eritreans also, that they recognize us, and that we as Black people and also Eritreans, that we have the necessary knowledge of ourselves, history, self-respect, our identity that can help us become better human beings, help one another so we can create a better society, a more equal society, and also lead the way, and also showing that we always can do better with ourselves. That whatever change that you want to see in this world, it always starts with yourself. For example, you cannot be a good example to others if you're not a good example to yourself.
True. Brilliant. And something that really struck me that you mentioned earlier on when we were having our Instagram chat was the fact that you were at earlier age, you were looking for mentors, but you couldn't find, so you started finding your own mentors from books.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I was looking for mentors, and I said I created SuperHero also when I was working with these artists, and nobody believed in me, and nobody had time to me or believed in me. So instead of giving up, I said, okay, nobody believes me, so I have to take matters into my own hands. So I went to the bookstore, and I bought, I think, 10, 12 books of people who's changed the world. Books from Malcolm X, Charlie Chaplin, Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, Bruce Lee, and so on and so on. And I was studying them like way into the night, like I was a student again, just writing. Okay, they did this mistake, they did this correct, and I was just studying them, all their faults and all the success, and what's kind of learning from their mistakes, and not to be afraid to take risk and think big, but always also with what I also learned from 50 Cent and all these other people, you have to know what you want, because when you know what you want, you know which direction you can go to. Because if you don't know what you want, you would just go around in a circle.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like that. I like that. So what's next for the Urban Legend?
Next is we're coming out with book 3. This is book 1 of Urban Legend, the first 8 issues. This is book 2, 7 issues. And now on Thursday, actually, we're coming out with book 3. You see the cover over there? That is the best season ever. This is where you have this Eritrean issue and so on. And also, we're working on some very exciting stuff. We're launching a YouTube channel soon, our web shop on Amazon and Shopify. And we're halfway through with season 4. And when the corona kind of dies down, some really cool stuff is happening in Los Angeles, Hollywood. So we'll see.
Amazing. Finger crossed.
Yeah.
So what are you guys going to do on your YouTube channel? What are we going to expect?
I'm going to do so many cool stuff. We're going to come out with a cookbook.
Okay.
It's also to teach them how to, how to make injera. But we're going to talk about a little bit of motivation, how it was to meet Stan Lee and all these people, what you can learn, success, and how to publish your own book and comic book, and how to put things in perspective that gains you, basically. Stuff like that.
So we're going to see more of you.
Sure. My journey. You may, film me when I go to Brazil or the US having meetings. More like behind the scenes.
Amazing. I cannot wait. When is that going to happen?
Oh, I think it will be up in a month. We're shooting next week. We were actually supposed to launch it last month, but because of the virus, it got a little bit delayed and so on. But we have all the equipment and everything.
If someone came today and asked you, what will you attribute your success to? What's your answer?
Not giving up. Yeah. Not giving up. And also doing the best of what you had. Yeah. Not giving up. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh? Sorry, go on. I'm listening.
If I could go back in time from the day I got the idea, and if I could just say one sentence, I would just say, it will be all right. Yeah, it will be all right.
I love that. What really kept you going?
It was really, really tough. And in the beginning, I gotta be honest, I was like, sometimes I thought, I even started doubting myself sometimes, like, what am I doing? Because I got rejection all the time, and I sold my apartment. I had like 20 pounds to live off for like 2 weeks. So I had to eat every other day, and then I was homeless a little bit because I was short of money in the end. And then I thought, forget the rent money, I'll pay the lawyer because I had to copyright it and everything. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, but yeah, it was hard. Was that the answer to your question?
I love it. No, I'm just yeah, very, very, very authentic way as well. Very honest, and I love it.
I used to look in my eyes. I would come dead tired at home, rejected, and I would get tears in my eyes. And I thought, what am I doing? And then I would talk to myself in the mirror, like I was talking to myself, like, listen, Joseph, this is not about you. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, because nobody on this earth forced you to create your own superhero. You did it to yourself. So stick to it, and it will be better. Trust me.
Deal with it.
Yeah, just deal with it. I used to talk and motivate myself all the time. I do that sometimes myself. Like I have a second person in my head. I motivate myself all the time. But I used to do that. Like, look at myself. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Nobody on this earth forced you. Just hang in there. It will be better. Trust me, it will be. Just hang in there. And also say to myself, listen, Joseph, this is not about you. This is about the kids in Africa who needs a superhero who can really need a role model that can change their life and set them on the right path to success and prosperity. So this is not about you. I used to say that all the time, and then I will think, yeah, this is not about me. And then I will be calmer and I will be more focused, and then I will overcome the obstacle.
Wow. So the fact that the dream was bigger than you.
Definitely. Because it's not about me. It's not like I went to the movies and saw an Avengers movie, like, wow, this is cool. I also want to create a superhero and be like Stan Lee. Nah, this was more from a humanitarian perspective, meeting these kids in Africa, and like nobody was there for them. And these Marvel superheroes are not speaking up for them or helping them or educating them in any way whatsoever. Yeah, so I thought my superhero would do that. Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. So the very cool superhero, it entertains you, teaches you, he protects you, and he's amazing.
And he is you, which means that you can also you are the urban legend. You can be the urban legend. He's not like Iron Man who could fly, Superman, or the Hulk. He's just one of us. Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? Because kids, they then tend to learn and look up to themselves and look towards themselves rather than looking to be someone else, looking to be like a superhero which doesn't really exist, like or focusing on things that doesn't really matter. Because the urban legend focus on things that matter. So with the Malala project that you worked, you talk about women empowerment and women equality. With the Ebola, you teach people about the awareness, and with the Unity African, right?
Definitely, and also talking about school shootings. What really, what can cause school shootings, and you have school shootings episodes, and this is also one of my favorite ones. So he's getting bullied a lot by the kids in his school. And his father is a gun runner, and his father disowns him and also hates him, so he feels very alone. His biggest hero is the urban legend, but he doesn't know that the urban legend is his teacher. So one day he snaps and dresses up as the urban legend and is about to perform a school massacre dressed as the urban legend. So the urban legend here tries to stop him. And then I'm not going to reveal the whole story, of course.
No, but don't spoil the stories for us. I can't wait to read it every day.
The Eritrean issues are two of my favorite issues. Yeah.
Brilliant. Amazing. So what message do you have for people of color, people of the world, and especially kids of the world? What message does the urban legend wanted to give?
That the world is yours, that you can do anything in this world. You can accomplish big things, whatever you put your mind to, really. It sounds a little bit cliche, but trust me, I'm the living proof of it. All you have to do is find your talent, because all of us on this earth has a unique talent, but you got to use it right, and you got to use it. It's like a flower in a sense, the seeds, because the more you use the talent, you better become at it. And the more you water a flower, the more it grows. And when you stop using the talent, it dies. It's just like when you stop watering that flower, it dies. So you have to use your talent and use it for something good, help others. And, don't trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your instincts, study the greats, and don't think you're less worth than anybody on this earth, because you're not. Yeah. You're not. Just find yourself, find your identity and pride and confidence, and you can really, really achieve everything. And also, what I've learned in life with this project is that no matter who we are as people, if you're a woman or man, rich, poor, black, white, or whatever, you're always going to be facing obstacles. But it's only after you face the biggest obstacles in life, that's only when you can reach your full potential. So don't be afraid of the obstacles coming your way, because you will always learn about it. And if you fail at something, so what? You pick yourself up and you move on. You learn from it. So don't be afraid of change, and think big and show the world how it's done.
Amazing. So the urban legend is the new season 4 is coming soon, right? Next. We've got a question from one of our viewers, Tesfai Alam. He is saying, "Hi, my bro, good to see you. Such a successful Eritrean. You are a motivational model. But most of the people like you are more global than national. what is your attitude, whether you are global or national?
Oh, good question. No, 'cause my ambition was to put urban legend. My mission was you have to take choices. Like, is this going to be a local superhero fighting in the neighborhood where you live? It's going to be a national superhero fighting in the country where you live, or global superhero? And I thought it was very important to show an Eritrean superhero to the world. So I made him global. So you see him fighting Eritrea, Japan, China, and so on. But he has a lot. He's actually both national and global, because in the Eritrean issue, he's very national. You see Eritrean culture, you see the streets of Asmara, and so on. So I would say he's both, actually. Yeah. See, doesn't it look like Asmara, Eritrean, when he walks here?
How was that?
Yeah. See here? Isn't it? And this is my real mother, based on her picture, basically. So you see, yeah, you see it here. Also, doesn't it? This is the Mariam church, and here you have also the streets of Asmara in the neighborhoods, basically.
I like it. I like it.
And then you have tribute, and here also looks a lot like Eritrea, right there. See, Bandera na Eritrea, the flag. Yay! Sorry.
Of Eritrea. So a lot of parents, as actually, whilst we're talking about Eritrea, but a lot of other international parents in the diaspora as well. Your Tigrinya was so fluent. Right? My friends were actually asking me that, which one of you actually grew up in the diaspora, right? You just mocked me in my own field.
Don't guys give me too much credit. I'm okay. Yeah.
No, but they say that. And one thing I wanted to ask you is, of course, your parents have invested a lot in your Tigrinya. How important is that for kids, especially from diverse backgrounds, to know their mother language? How does that contribute to their identity and self-confidence?
I think it's very important. My parents from a very young age, I had to go to Tigrinya school on Thursdays and Saturdays, I think, and sometimes Sundays. So even when the kids were out playing football, like, come on, Joseph, let's go and play football. And I was putting my boots on. My mom, no, you going to school. I said, why? I want to go play with the kids. No, because I want my son to be able to talk to his grandparents when he goes back to Eritrea. Mm-hmm. And also in Eritrea and also in African countries, you have traditions are transferred from through stories, from you sitting, listen to your grandparents how it was back in the day, and you know that's how traditions are moved forward. So if you can't speak Tigrinya, you cannot communicate with them, and that's where this tradition or cycle stops. That's a little bit sad though, because it's important to further and continue that tradition, basically. But it also gives you a stronger identity to where you're from, basically. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to know your native language. And also, even though you're born in Sweden or Denmark like I am, we are Eritreans. We are what our roots are, basically. So it's always good to learn your native language.
I like it. Josef Tzegai Yohannes, the urban legend, thank you so much for coming and blessing our show. And I'll just give you a chance to say hello, or I don't know, and if there's any message that you wanted to.
Sure. Thank you all the guys and girls out there for listening and tuning in. I hope this was a good watch. And also we have this competition, right?
Yes. So tell them about the competition as well.
Okay, I'm giving away free issues, signed issues of the Urban Legend. You can pick either in Tigrinya or in English, and I'll sign it. All you have to do is tell them what they have to do. It's your show.
All they have to do is just write, because today is our National Independence Day, 24th of May, 1991. Eritrea got its independence from Ethiopia. And because of that, we're celebrating this amazing historic day. And people who are interested in art or writing poetry, you guys are more than welcome to just write poetries about the Independence Day. And we'll select the winner, and the urban legend will sign your issues and
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and yeah, it's a cool thing. And more issues will come. Okay, do you have time to show them all the issues that will be available soon?
Yes, we can share that now.
Yeah. So it will be more issues, and hopefully I'll be able to translate. Well, I hired a professional Eritrean translator. I didn't translate this, but there will be more issues coming up in English, and also it's also available Kindle and digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so also, the new issues are
we gotta check it. Can you go to the website, please? Sorry, I have to brag a little bit, so forgive me.
No.
And Wall of Fame.
Yeah.
Since it's so then you can see who. If you see Stan Lee holding the comic book, you know it's legit. Isn't it cool? Stan Lee holding it. Eric Roberts, Lou Ferrigno, and you have a lot of other celebrities that are really loving it, endorsing it. You have Winnie Mandela. You have a school teacher in Kenya, and you have fans in New York. Yeah, this is from Comic Con. And then you have Mike Tyson, he really loved it, Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. I met him in Las Vegas. And then you have Nobel Peace, and this is the girl sitting, the girl on the left is a female champion, world boxing champion. And then you have underneath that, you have Nobel Peace Prize winners, Shirin Ebadi, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2003, and Kailash Satyarthi won the Nobel Peace who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of other people there. You have Frank Miller. You have
Kevin Hart as well. Where's Kevin Hart?
Oh yeah, Kevin Hart. If you go
Why are you talking about hair?
Yeah, Kevin Hart. So he wants to roll in the movie. He was like, I gotta be in this movie. Yeah, this is just so awesome. I want to roll. Don't forget me. And he was looking really serious. So that was really, yeah.
I bet he will.
I thought, listen, this is not a comedy. It's not a comedy, but sure, why not? Whatever works.
I love this. This is incredible. And
this
here
from the Mandela School in South Africa. Yeah.
Wow.
And you have Run from Run DMC. You have Jeffrey Wright. He's playing in the new Batman movie.
Oh wow.
And Pat Mills, he's a legend and among British comic book people. And then you have a really big, huge fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love this. This is incredible. I've asked you earlier on to say what was your, that like, what does it mean to be a successful person to you? What is success to you?
Success is, you have to define what success is. And please don't let anybody on this earth define what success is for you. Only you can define what success is for you, because you know your own goals, your own aspirations, and what you want to do. No so-called expert, your neighbor, your friend, or somebody at work knows really what you want to achieve. So success is whatever you put as a goal for yourself. So my success really was when I was holding the first issue, never sold a copy yet, when I was picking this up from the printers. This was my success because I made it. My first goal was to start with holding an issue in my hand, and then I could move on to the next one. But this was my success, holding the first issue in my hands after 1 year of really, really hard work. So success is whatever you define it as. Yeah, you define it. Don't let anybody define it.
True. You a lot of people have been asking me, like, is that Tupac?
Oh wow, you had to say that, right? Did you show them the pictures? No? Good, don't show them the picture. Don't.
I have. You need to answer.
I have so many. I have yeah, you guys want to show? You guys want to see Tupac picture?
Yeah, show us.
I have it. Hold on, let me show. This is, well, sorry. Alright. So I get this a lot. So here, guys, this is me. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. Yeah, this is me. Yeah, a few years back. Yep.
I love that.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I have other pictures as well, but yeah. So there you have it.
What do people say? What
West side.
do that sign again?
No, this is the west side.
The west side. What do people like? What do people say when they bump into you?
They asked me a lot of pictures. Just tonight, this kid called me for like 1 a.m. and are you Tupac? Bombarded with with messages, and I get it from celebrities who grew up with Tupac, and I get it all over the world. But I've heard it so many times since I was a kid, so it's just part of it, you know. And I was a big fan of Tupac, anyways. He inspired me a lot, definitely.
Do you think the urban legend might do anything to deal with Tupac? Who knows, right?
Well, actually, urban legend is a teacher, and he works at Amaru High School, named after Tupac. Yeah. So what I'm basically doing with urban legend is I'm empowering people, just like, in a sense, like Malcolm X and Tupac. Not comparing myself to them, of course. No. But it's all about empowering people and giving the people who doesn't have a voice, and standing up for people who are ignored in today's society. So they did it through public speaking and music, and I'm doing it with a superhero, basically.
Any next plans?
Next plan is there's so much stuff happening, exciting stuff happening now. But there's a lot of interest from Hollywood. I've been a lot to LA recently, and they love it out there. At least it seems like it. So I'm gonna have some meetings with some big people when this coronavirus kind of slows down a little bit. So it's gonna be good. Stay tuned. Follow us on I Am the Urban Legend on Instagram.
Yeah.
Check my Instagram out, Josef Yohannes, JOSEF YOHANNES.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions or whatever, just hit me up, and if I can help you, I'll help you. If not, I can maybe guide you on the right way.
NEFAS. Thank you so much for coming to the Urban Legend.
Thanks to everybody, and thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. And thank you for all the people out there who took the time to hear us out on this Sunday evening, National Day of Eritrea. Straight up.
Until then,
see you.
What do the urban legends say? Out NEFAS, or is there any slogan? Out NEFAS.
Out NEFAS.
Good evening.
All right.